So pretty much, we're just looking at some more shit. Honestly, there's been like some stuff that just keeps going on that I just honestly don't give a fuck about, and I'm really not trying to do anything about it because I would hate to sit here and then try to make like a reaction to it, and then it's just like half-assed and boring as shit. But there's some other stuff that happened, so I want to take a look at that. And well, yeah, that's really about it. Let's take a little look over here. Everyone loves when someone says some dumb shit. Everyone does. It's the slop contest. It's just the slop. Inject that shit straight into my fucking veins, brother.
So guys are up here. So Taylor gonna be talking
shut up, guys. Rev's here.
About the crazy Moist Critical situation. I'm sure pretty much everybody watched.
I know for a fact because I've yet to see anything about this, but whenever Moist Critical is in controversy, it's never anything like important. It's always like some stupid ass nothing burger. He just had some take that a lot of people don't like, and then some freaks on Twitter found it and they're all mad and butthurt and shit. That's just usually how it goes.
Watching this video has come across Moist Critical at one point or another in your journey on YouTube. But one thing that is very rare, despite the countless topics he's talked about, is situations where people are trying to cancel him. On my own channel, I think.
Again, who was it? Somebody else. Not too recently, just people were trying to cancel them on Twitter, and I forgot who it was. I think it was like Finster or some shit.
There's been maybe one situation where people were trying to do that, and it was like by proxy in a situation he really wasn't involved in. But anyways, today there is a very recent push to cancel Moist Critical, and it comes from a video he made about 3 weeks ago that personally flew under my radar. I didn't even know he made the video on the subject. And I saw this post yesterday from Kazahana pointing out that people on TikTok were trying to cancel Moist Critical for his comments about Charlie Kirk. Now, this is the video in particular. As you can see, he released a video about 3 weeks ago, shortly after the assassination of Charlie Kirk that was fueled by political violence. And he made a very bold statement in the video that political violence is always wrong, despite even differences you have.
Who would have thought the normal and rational and just relatively okay take is something people, especially Twitter, and Marvel's Blue Sky as well, they just can't seem to handle it. Oh no, what a surprise.
Have with their opinions, that does not justify it. Now, if you've been watching Moist Critical, I'm sure you probably weren't too surprised by that, but there was a noticeable portion of his audience that was very angry about this. You can see the like to dislike ratio, and this is not some iDubbbz video where he's, tanking a 50-50 ratio, but most of Moist Critical's videos have like a 99% like to dislike ratio. So having this sort of a proportion, about a 10% dislike ratio, that's pretty significant. And I say this not in a mocking fashion, but his audience is kind of known for being normies. And you see this reaction from a notable portion of his audience who are very upset about his message. And that, I think, is pretty alarming. So let's listen to what he said in this video.
I wouldn't say it's alarming because, as you said, they're fucking normies, bro. Like, what do you expect? Like, that's the thing with normies. You really never know which way they're gonna go with anything because it's just they have whatever milquetoast ass opinion that someone else already has, and I mean they're gonna get upset. They're gonna get mad. Like, we all kind of know that, but like, oh no, like, oh no, my feelings. Like, honestly, who cares? And also, I find it very interesting. Another thing, let me ramble on for a second. Another thing that I've also noticed is if, say, I had an opinion and then someone else also had that same opinion, and then someone else also had that same opinion, they're just like, oh yeah, you're just grifting. It's like, or think about this. There's 8 billion people on the planet. You think everyone is different or everyone is special? Oh, I hate to break it to you. That's not how it is. Really, I hate to break it to you, champ. Your mama might have said you're special and you're important, you're different, but you're not. You're just not. It's unfortunate for you because for some reason you live like that. Couldn't be me. I got shit to do.
And what will be shown in the TikTok where we see the most unhinged reactions.
But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father. I think it is bad. I know, classic Charles with a grass is green take. So let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is horrible. I think it is horrific, awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that
Which
to
is
be
insane.
disgusting. Of course, after all this happened, I did see a bunch of the clips that people were tossing around from like his talks or from debates, and it's things I don't agree with for sure. But even still, what happened here is bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I've seen, it still doesn't change the way I feel about this.
Also, another thing that I've also noticed, especially when shit like this happens, which it doesn't happen a heck of a whole lot, but the fact that it happens as much as like it happens is a little alarming. But when something like this happens, they only show the shit that you for some reason will only show the shit that you don't like and you don't agree with. Which I mean, I guess like fine, but like I guarantee you, because this is how it is for both sides. There is stuff that I don't agree with them on, and there's stuff that I do agree with them on. So if you're only going to show his like wild as shit, you're leaving out all of the other context of all the other shit that he said. So, but I mean, yeah, fair whether you like him or not. Personally, it's whatever for me. Political violence is wrong, regardless of where it is. And I think I said it in the last video. When this happens again, because it's gonna happen again, I don't want it to happen again, but it's gonna happen again. But when this does happen again, and it's a Democratic issue, my God, we'll never hear the end of it. We will never fucking hear the end of it.
Being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him. Political violence or violence of any kind like this, I think, is just unacceptable, and it's extremely scary.
So yeah, pretty simple stuff. He said,
Yeah,
despite
pretty basic
even
take.
not agreeing with things that Charlie Kirk has said, I condemn political violence. It's horrible. And if you disagree with that point, you are simply wrong. And that made people very angry. Now, most of the top comments are positive on YouTube, but if you're refreshed by new, it's very unhinged. Okay, people are still seething about it every couple of minutes on this video, despite the fact it's been out for weeks. But this is the TikTok that was mentioned earlier in the video. And this is someone who shared that message 3 weeks ago. And the comments on this are insane. And it shows you the kind of radicalization going on places like TikTok.
Killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism. I mean, well.
So one of the top comments right here begins by saying, conservatives, kids being killed today with no regard. Charlie Kirk being killed today. And all of a sudden now they've awakened. And of course, you can see someone saying, not a conservative, but do you spend every waking minute feeling sorry for all the kids who you don't know who have passed away? And the person who made the original post said, yes.
Sure you do, buddy. Sure you do. Eat my ass.
So this person is trying to convince you that you are bad if you don't spend every waking minute of your existence mourning over the deaths of others. Like, this is the kind of Stretch Armstrong level reach that they're trying to make.
I was about to say, I really hope this man stretched before he made that leap. That's an Olympic level 3 high jump right there. God damn.
Basically saying you're not allowed to mourn an individual's death if you're not mourning other people's deaths every waking minute of your life. And that's not an exaggeration. They said every waking minute of your life. That's the kind of people we're dealing with here. Here's one with a lot of support saying, explaining to people that murder is wrong in the Big 25. We are doomed as a society. Now, I noticed that this one, for example, has 8,000 likes. I saw this TikTok yesterday, and I think the new traffic on it has boosted a lot of the positive comments, because a lot of these had a fraction of the likes that they do now. But we have another one saying Moist Critical greater than vanilla. I think that was another content creator who had a different take on the Charlie Kirk assassination. This person saying killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism. 100% right.
Yeah,
Do you understand how many people have called me and others who have condemned political violence over the past couple of weeks fascists for doing so? Ending someone because they have a...
Interestingly enough, I'm not celebrating, but I am definitely not mourning. Understandable. I see it. I see that. That's how a lot of people are.
Different political opinion than you is the literal definition of fascism. That is a core component So the fact that people condemning it are being given this label shows
really
we're
is.
living in an upside down society right now where these people are just so far gone. But of course, this one says also, I know his fans are so mad he's showing compassion. As we pointed out, there was a significant amount that were mad. But down here we have a great dichotomy. This person says, W take from the...
Hold on. As a white man, you have zero opinion or stand, I guess, on this. It's okay to mourn him, but telling people like me, people not like me, that their actions are disgusting and wrong when it's their oppressor, not yours. It's extremely weird. Man, suck all 40 inches of my ass. What the fuck is it? I hate when niggas start throwing shit in here that has to do with me and be like, yeah, that's what they think. Like, no, it's not. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Shut up.
A legend. The next comment says, oh wow, L take from Charlie. Yeah, Charlie with the crazy takes. When I say Charlie, let's not get confused. Charlie as in Moist Critical, not separate that from Charlie Kirk. We're just going to refer to Charlie from YouTube as Moist Critical for the rest of this video. Let's try to keep it from getting confusing. But here's another one saying, I'm not celebrating, but I'm definitely...
I will never have sympathy nor empathy for fascists. You don't know what that word means. Just, all right, you don't know what that word means. Think about it this way. I'm going to talk to someone that I don't agree with, and then I get shot. But since you didn't like the position that I had, I'm now a fascist. That's not how that works. See, you don't know what that word means, and you are just throwing it around. You look stupid.
Not mourning with 13,000 likes. And this is such a weird take that I keep seeing. Nobody is asking you to mourn his passing, his murder.
I don't. Well, see, the reason why I feel that I don't think anyone's asking or like demanding that you feel bad, but there are some people that will ask how you feel about it. And I mean, honestly, I feel like this is whatever take, brother. All right.
Nobody.
It's like it's significantly better than the fucking "I'm glad he's dead" take.
Nobody's asking you to mourn it. You don't have to feel bad or anything like that. You can feel completely indifferent. But people are saying don't celebrate. And more importantly, don't glorify acts of political violence and don't ask for more. As we've seen, you can check out any video pretty much from the last 3 weeks or so on my channel. There are infinite people, whether it's politicians, people in trusted positions of society like doctors and teachers, and also content creators and just regular social media users who are not just celebrating, they're encouraging more political violence. The fact that people are not understanding what the real concern here is well...
Bro, you hear that? I don't know if you can hear it, but that's a very slippery slope we're going down. Yes, we want more political violence. And then once it happens to you, now how do you feel? How you feel? How you feel? Your brother got shot because he also thought Charlie Kirk should have died. But hey, political violence is cool, right? I don't think it's cool at all. But now that it's on the other foot, how we thinking? How we feeling? We vibing with? I don't think we're vibing with. I'm not vibing with. Are you vibing with? You shouldn't be vibing with. But whatever.
Concerning. But let's read this next one. Oh, it's a doozy. As a white man, you have zero opinion or stance on this. It's okay to mourn him, but telling people of color, LGBTQ/women, that their actions are disgusting and wrong when it's their oppressor, not yours, is extremely weird. I'll let you see here. That has 6,300 likes. So this guy's saying, if
I'm gonna need you, chat. I'm gonna need him to go to the cut couch. I have a cut couch now in my room, by the way. I gotta take a picture of it and show you. I have a cut couch now. That's where he needs to go. He needs to sit in the cut couch. Shut the fuck up.
You're a white man. You cannot talk about or criticize people celebrating the murder of another white man. So what can you even talk about these days? It's very strange. And are you going to also say, they say women, can Erica Kirk, his now widow, can she have an opinion on this? Or is
no, because he I don't know, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Hold on. I'm semi-fluent in retard. Hold on. She cannot have an opinion on this. No, she can have an opinion on this because he was her oppressor, but she's been brainwashed by what's that thing? What's that buzzword there? What's that? She's been oppressed by fuck, what is it? She's been oppressed by blah 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 or whatever, and she's internal misogyny. There it is, internalized misogyny. So she doesn't even know. She's the worst kind of brainwash. There it is.
Is that just an exception that you'll rule out? These people are insane. They live among you. Many of them can actually vote. That's terrifying.
And they can drive. You know the stupid people that walk up to you while you're working somewhere and are like, "Hey, do you work here?" Where you're currently wearing the shirt of the place with a name tag of the place that you work in while you're currently working. That's them. That's those niggas. I'd say they're window lickers, but at least window lickers are making something clean.
Here's the next one saying, "I will never have sympathy nor empathy for a fascist." See, and this is the problem right here. They call everyone who disagrees with them a fascist, and it is a dog whistle. And I know that term has been used very flippantly over the years, but this is a very coded thing where they're trying to say to crazies out there, this guy is a fascist. He is an existential threat to you. Do something about it. And they hope someone out there crazy enough will do something about that. That's why they label people they don't like as fascists.
And notice that they're never the ones to do anything about it. They'll just sit there and bitch and complain about some shit and not actually do anything. I said it in the previous video. These motherfuckers are too scared to ask for an extra ketchup pack when they go to McDonald's because their anxiety gets too high when they talk to people. Look in the eye. Shut the fuck up.
And I want to show you how crazy this sort of rhetoric gets. Just today, there's a big scandal going on in the Virginia attorney.
I've seen this guy before. I mean, I'm also in Virginia, but like I've seen this guy before.
General election, which is a very important position for that state, where the Democrat candidate Jay Jones has been busted with personal messages where he was fantasizing about the Republican House Speaker, Todd Gilbert, his political opponent, where he fantasized about him being shot and that he would piss on the graves of Republicans and even fantasize about the offing of him and his wife's children. Here's the text messages.
Jesus.
If these guys die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. And then they say Jay Jones, referring to this person who's running for the position.
I like, Jay, please stop. Jay, chill. Okay? Like, chill the fuck out. You're like, you're actually kind of wild.
3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both. Okay, so real quick, small history lesson. If you've ever heard of the place called Cambodia, they had a dictator that, I don't remember the time, but I don't think it was really that long ago when you really think about it. But Pol Pot was a dictator that essentially wanted to get rid of all the undesirables. Well, he didn't really call them undesirables. I forgot the actual term that he called. Yeah, I forgot the actual term that he called them. But it was like people of like higher renown or whatever. You just kind of like round them up and shoot them. So if you don't know who Pol Pot is, yeah, think of like Cambodian Hitler. Essentially, that's just. But at least they're throwing out another name. I mean, the Hitler's in there, obviously, because that's the only person they can make in reference. So it's kind of cool, Pol Pot getting his fucking shout. Fucking ridiculous. Every single time. And the person receiving this says, Jay, please stop. Showing that they're very uncomfortable by this conversation. And he says, LOL, okay, but he can't help himself. And the other person says, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing. Bro, whoever this person is, I kind of feel bad for him. You weren't simply asking questions. You know what? I genuinely was. Nah, I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. No, you weren't trying to. Yeah, exactly. It's like whoever this is on the other side knows. He understands. Sure, he or she understands. Ain't putting up with this bullshit. You were talking about holding the Jennifer Gilbert's children with the Jesus. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they make a move. Do they move on policy? I feel like what you're trying to do is, be like, I'm the revolution. I'm the revolutionary leader, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen right now. You're going to get fucked. It's really that simple.
It's just really that simple. Yes. Like you ain't got the bones for it. You ain't got the stones for it. You can talk tough, but like I'm telling you right now, you talk mad shit for someone who hasn't been punched in the face. Like I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it, but what's gonna happen is you're going to meet someone, you're gonna say something that they're not gonna like, and they're gonna do it. So they're just gonna sit there, go crack in the face with one, a real clean one, and then that will show your true colors. All right. So let's stop with all this violence talk, okay? And wishing people's children are dead. That's fucking weird. You're weird. You're weird, buddy. All right. And maybe we'll go from there. Oh my god. Make improvement on policy there isn't. I point blank ask you more than 3 times and you dug in that you meant it. And let's say I'm questioning a lot today. I mean, I do think Todd Jennifer are evil. I mean, that's fine. You can think that, but you shouldn't obviously wish their kids to be dead. And they're breeding little fascists. Yes. Yeah, I also feel like you don't know what fascist means either. Because at this point, you're calling for the death of a political opponent. You want to know who else did that? It's funny because you mentioned 2 of them in the previous text. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here, my guy? This guy's weird. This guy's fucking unhinged.
Death upon
I know for a fact I'm not voting for that guy.
them. And then he continues
Jesus.
on saying, I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. And then the person says, you were talking about and hoping that Jennifer Gilbert's children would be ended. And then he says, yes, I've told you this before, only when...
Which is crazy that he said this before. This isn't the first time. Just open. I guess he didn't think that these would get leaked, but I'm not gonna lie. If I'm texting someone who's going to be running for like a position of office, and this is how they're coming out, sorry, your shit's getting leaked. Call me snitch, call me whatever. I don't care. You're getting leaked. Putting you all over the internet. Get the fuck out of here. You're actually insane, brother.
people feel pain personally, do they move on policy? So this person believes that his political opponent's children should be offed because then they might change their mind on probably some stupid policy that's not even that important.
And you want to know what's gonna happen? Sorry, Kim, but you want to know what's gonna happen? God forbid, their children actually do get offed. Now they're staunchly, even more staunchly, against you, and it might turn them to extremism too. So, yeah, great job, buddy.
Insane. And then they continue on saying, I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. That is what's going on in the state of Virginia in a very important election for what they the concerns and the interests of their citizens over there. So when you're constantly labeling people as these things, these are the type of fantasies from unhinged people that are connected. And we live in a time where that's accepted. Like normally what we just saw is a career ender. You never recover from that. But right now with this climate, it's like, I don't know. Will something actually happen? Will he be knocked out of the race? Will his people alongside him say, hey, you need to step down? I don't have any confidence in that whatsoever.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
But anyways, let's continue on. This person says, I don't give a F what Moist Critical has to say for real, despite taking the time to leave a comment about it. This person said, but not a word of sympathy for the thousands of people who died from gun violence this year alone.
No. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. You're not going to like what happens. We're going to start talking about black people. We're going to start talking about black people. And we know how you feel about that. We know how you feel about that. Trust me, as a black person myself. Where do you think all the gun violence is happening? Where do you think all the gun violence is happening? Oh, okay. Let's not talk about that now, shall we? So, you don't want to go there. you don't want to go there. Yeah, you're not going to like where that's up.
Yeah, this is one of those things again where they say if you don't openly mourn every single death that's ever happened everywhere going on in the world, then you can't have any sympathy for someone who was murdered like this. It's such a ridiculous comparison. But this person said, I genuinely think celebrating anyone's death is inhumane. I don't agree with him, and I absolutely hated him as a person. I will never wish death upon him.
Legend.
Moist Critical always has the most centrist opinion. Why does he talk about news that he barely researched? This is one of those things where,
what
like,
do you need to research? Someone died. Like that's all you need to know. Someone died. That's it. What? You don't need to know the person's backstory to know that someone got shot for political reasons. You don't need to know that. Whether you agree with him or not, he got shot and died. That's it. What?
Like, you don't even have to be fully aware of everything the person's ever said. You can literally just look at it for what it is, a brutal public execution, and be like, yeah, over political opinions, that's not acceptable. Like, it's really not that hard to understand. They think this is some sort of a gotcha. Okay, scrolling down a bit, we begin with some positive ones. We go right back to the brain rot. So this person says, Common Charlie W. Common W from Moist. Why is it so controversial to say it's wrong to kill people over their political beliefs? They murdered one of the last people that was willing to talk to them. And then you have this. I'm sad I didn't know Moist Critical was MAGA, which means he voted for Donald Trump. We don't know if that happened. I don't think it's likely, like, listening to his video.
Must be the first time. This guy must be the first time he's ever been on the internet. That's crazy. Little homie, you were born yesterday, so you missed a lot. So let me catch up to speed with how the regular people think. Political violence isn't cool. All right, there you go. Glad we had this talk. Fucking retard.
Videos over the years, but I could be wrong. But what they're trying to make a connection over here is really crazy. Like, one of the weirdest cell phones.
I hope he shows this one, because all I saw was cis and white, and I was just like, if anyone, if you're talking to somebody and they say cis and white, chances are you are about to hear the most egregiously retarded thing in human history.
Like, they're saying if you condemn political violence, that means you must have voted for Donald Trump. They think that's an own. I don't think they realize how insane they sound, but again, this is TikTok. It's full of brain rot, and it's just
look at this large one. Charlie's really showing his privilege with this one. Yeah, sure. And it must be nice being straight, cis, and white. I guess I know a lot of straight, cis, and white people. They're not really having a good time. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're not really having a good time. Never having singled out by hateful rhetoric Charlie spews. Well, yeah, I mean, he's caught out by hateful rhetoric that you people spew. So the difference is the other guy was way cooler than you. So listening to someone like you listening to someone say you shouldn't exist, that you shouldn't have rights. As someone who's listened to him, never once heard that. In fact, a lot of the shit that I heard of him are people like me in different communities saying, how should I feel? Because I've been told my entire life that Republicans hate me. And he's just like, yeah, do whatever, dude. I don't give a fuck. That's kind of how it's just been. So it's like, wow. Talk about misinformed. What the fuck was that? The words he used were more than violent and harmful. Words cannot be violent. They can be harmful, but not violent. Shut the fuck up. Then the way he died, that's not true, but fair enough. The oppressors of this country have to go. And what are you going to do about it? You're sitting on TikTok being retarded. Look at you. And unfortunately, this is one, right? And there, unfortunately, is only one way out at this point. Oh, God. Reading that gave me, my brain is melting. I just came back from going outside, brother. And I was thinking, I'd be able to do this. Jesus fucking Christ. It's like you're being flashbanged by autism, not even like in a good way. I do that shit and it's funny. Ugh. Disgusting. Anyway.
The way it is. But this one's interesting. Moist Critical is really showing his privilege with this one. It must be nice being straight, cis, and whites, never having to be singled out by the hateful rhetoric Charlie spewed. Listening to someone say to you that you shouldn't exist, that you shouldn't have rights, and then the words he used were more violent and harmful than the way he died. This person is unironically saying
it was retarded.
Words are more harmful
Then a bullet to
than
the
a
neck.
bullet through the neck.
Yeah, like, what?
Understand how insane these people are. And of course, they can't even list off the horrible things, and they don't cite anything referring to what Charlie spewed.
Well, no. They didn't cite it, but they said what they thought he said, even though they're wrong. So,
but then again, the
That's
amount
always
of
the best part.
misinformation out there regarding what
that's always the
Charlie
best
has
part.
actually said is insane. It'll make you lose faith in humanity. That's for absolute sure. How people will make a caricature out of you in your passing and say, you represent a side I don't like, so I'm going to slander you. I'm going to accept any wild theory about you just so I can
I don't know why it took me this long to realize, because I've been watching this dude for years. I just realized he has glasses.
justify my bloodlust. That's what they're doing. It's absolutely crazy. Then Charlie Kirk said stuff I don't agree with. Yeah. But even then, he didn't deserve to be assassinated in front of his family. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And honestly, like, I could go on, but we'll just read a few more. Okay? I fundamentally disagree. Care to explain?
No, obviously. You think someone that fundamentally disagrees with somebody has a logical and sound argument and will be able to articulate themselves in that manner? Really? Get out of here. You're ridiculous. Come on.
Why you fundamentally disagree with an opinion that states political violence is wrong. Please, enlighten us, common TikTok user. Whether it's kids in Gaza, victims of school shootings, or Kirk, we should never celebrate the loss of human life, as its value scales way beyond anything else in our world. It's that simple. It's really that simple. This person down here saying, L, actually, wow. This person's saying, I kind of agree that celebrating is not nice, but also we have to understand that if you spread hate, you will get hate. I feel nothing but your actions have consequences. So having healthy debates with people, exercising your free speech, comes with a consequence of being assassinated.
Well, yeah, that's what happens to fascists, apparently. Again, they really don't understand what that word means, and they really don't understand history. And the part that really confuses me is a lot of these people are like in college, dude. Like, you're in college. You've taken college history classes. Did all of that just go over your head? Like, all of that? You just weren't paying attention at all?
That's like an even playing field, an even sort of cost benefit, or like a consequence of exercising your free speech. That's insane. Absolutely unhinged. And there's other comments where they keep talking about, like, here, I like how he spoke out about this, but not the thousands of children dying in Palestine. So that's another thing that Charlie talked about in his video.
I like how there was a bunch of people and a bunch of children dying in Palestine before it became popular. And all of a sudden, now everyone seems to care. I like how you didn't care before. What was it? When they started doing this bullshit? 2023, 2022? Where were we all then? I bet you didn't even know where Palestine is on the map. I bet if I showed you a map right now, you can find it. Yeah. Okay.
Where people are demanding content creators speak about an issue. And if they don't speak about a particular issue, that means they have the negative view of whatever it is, or they represent the bad guys in that situation. And it's an insane thing to expect from someone like Moist Critical.
But I also want to mention something that a lot of people kept saying, I'm sure you've seen it in the comment section or on streams or elsewhere, about how I'm dodging this topic and refusing to speak on it. And people even go as far as to say that I am endorsing political violence by not making a video on it, which I find to just be unhinged. I find that to be so fucking twisted. Especially considering it's not like I've been shy on this subject. Since it happened, I have covered it extensively during streams. I've been mainly gaming because I've been in such a gaming arc in my life right now, but I have still talked about it a lot. And I said from day one, I planned on making a video once the shooter was caught, because I was very confident the shooter would be apprehended pretty quickly. Like, they had a substantial amount of footage showing him on the roof, jumping off the roof, even wandering through the neighborhoods. They even had pretty clear photos that they released to the public that showed a lot of this guy's face. So I was pretty certain that they were going to either catch him pretty quickly, track him down, and get them themselves, or what ended up happening, someone would recognize him and turn him in. So I wanted to wait for that to happen so that way I can make a video covering the entire situation here, because I find it to be such a big deal.
What was it? This always seems to happen to him when stuff happens. I forgot there was another controversy that I remember. Whatever. There was another controversy that he was caught in because he didn't make a video. I forgot what it was about. He didn't make a video on something, and then literally he did the exact same thing this time. Where it's like, I'm going to wait till everything comes out and then make a video about it. So I don't understand why, well, retards. Never mind. Continue.
But since I was mainly talking about it on streams instead of in a video, which, by the way, if I did do like a video when it happened, a follow-up video, and then this video, people would accuse me of milking a tragedy. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But because I was talking about it on streams, people accused me of trying to hide it there. Basically saying that doesn't count. It only matters if you make a video on it.
But yeah, I think I've had enough of this. As you can see, you really understand how insane all this is. And like I said, with the new attention on this particular TikTok, a lot of the positive comments have been boosted. But even despite that, the unhinged ones, celebrating the worst of human beings, are still getting the majority of the traction. And it's really insane to see. And again, represents a radicalization of many different social media platforms, TikTok definitely included. I'm going to end this video on a happy note. I talked about my official desk mat, a collaboration with my wife, Darling Straub, who also has a VTuber model. And because the sales did so well, we sold so many of these mouse pads over the past couple of weeks. The original date where this was going to be cut off was October 3rd, and now it's been extended through October 17th. And as pointed out here, no restock. So once this date arrives, October 17th, that's it. It's done. And you definitely want to capitalize because these are honestly gorgeous. I mean, look at this.
As cool as that is, I'm going to sound like a hater, but I'm sad and alone. So why would I want to constantly see someone that has what I have? You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking nice, but at the same time, I'm kind of being a bitch. So it's like, do I really want? Look, I get it. You're married. Stop rubbing it in my fucking face, okay? God.
This is the first one. Oh. It's the stained glass version. I personally really love this one. One of my favorite pieces of art.
It does actually look fucking fire, though. Like, holy shit. Like, let's be real here. It does look fucking fire.
I got to be honest with you. And then this one as well, which, of course, this festival theme is always popular in anime. So if you enjoy that's another option for you. But I'll put a link to this in the pinned comment and the description for you guys to check out. I appreciate all the support. As always, insane from you guys. So we're all getting rewarded with an extension on the closing date of this campaign. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Genuinely upsetting. That's genuinely upsetting. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Anyway, y'all be easy. I was like, what am I still? What the fuck? Is this free? Hey, yo, I know what I'm watching next. Maybe not now. I know what I'm watching next. Holy shit.